Hey there, beauties. This is Sharon. Welcome back to my channel, The Fit Life Center, where I teach you small coping strategies to help you begin, continue, or maintain a life that's fit for you. I tell y'all this all the time, a life that's fit for you requires you to take a little journey of discovery to find out what works for you and the things that you may have to change or let go of. If you're new to this channel, my name is Sharon. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I've been working for years to help people reduce symptoms of mental health concerns such as anxiety, depression, stress, trauma. But these days I like to focus on wellness, right? Because I've learned that people figure out or manage to get through a problem, but they never go far enough and actually to create a life of wellness where everything in your life becomes an extension of you feeling great, right? So that you feel like you are more creative, able to enjoy the things in your life rather than the things in your life running you, which all of us know it's not a good feeling, right? If you think I can help you with this, if you live in Arizona and you need therapy to help with anxiety, depression, stress, those kind of things, you can check out my website, afitlifecenter.com, where I can get you scheduled for some individual, and I also do couples therapy, right? Only if you live in Arizona though, it's a licensing thing, right? But if you are interested in wellness, you want to figure out how to take your life from where it is now to creating a life that's fit for you, then you can also find me at afitlifecenter.com, but you can live anywhere in the world. We will meet virtually and we will start to set small goals for you and make sure that you reach a life that's fit for you. All right, so we've got the business out of the way. Thanks to the new subscribers. We got some new subscribers over the last week. I so appreciate you subscribing to this channel. I hope you will leave comments, hit that like button, right? Because it helps me get to know you better. And it helps YouTube push these videos out so people that need them find them. I don't know if all of you know, but YouTube is really difficult to navigate, right? As far as getting your videos out there. I don't do vlogs. I'm not a hair and makeup girly. I'm just here offering small coping strategies that really help you, because I really want your life to be what you want it to be, right? So if you think you know somebody that could use these skills, please consider sharing these videos with them, subscribing, all the things, right? Because I just want those people, especially black people, right? Because I love us some black folk, right? We need to create a life of wellness because, as we always see, this world is not going to create it for us. It's our job to create it for ourselves. All right, so with that being said, we are going to talk today about creating small, doable goals for yourself, right? I get this question a lot in therapy. We want to get to a place, a goal, right? But we have no idea how to take the steps to get there. Sometimes we get in a rush, we feel impatient. I've even felt like that, right? I want to get to the finish line, right? And so thinking that the finish line is some panacea, it's gonna change my whole life, right? If I attain this one goal. And then you get it if you can figure out the small doable steps to get there, and you find it didn't change your whole life, right? It might have improved something, it may not have improved something, but it definitely didn't change your whole life, right? The reason why we need small doable goals is because, one, when we create small doable goals, it teaches us how to get what we want and attain the information that we need to get it. What do I mean by that, right? So let's say I used to run long distance running. I don't do it anymore because my body does not like it anymore. But I used to do it, right? And when I first ran my first half marathon, which is 12.2 miles, I believe, right? When I ran it, when I started, I was just running for fun. And I could run 3 or 4 miles, right? At a steady pace. I'm not a fast runner, never been a fast runner, but I could run 3 or 4 miles without stopping, right? But half marathon, I had no idea how to do it. So I joined a running group. Shout out to Tortoise and Hare if they are listening to this. They are a great running store here in Phoenix. So I went to them. They taught me, one, how to build my body, right? In order to prepare it for run, being hydrated, eating the right foods that helped me run, right? They taught me how to find the right shoes. They taught me pacing, breathing, right? And then every week we would go one week and we would do some kind of physical activity that strengthened my body in preparation for running. And then we would run. Sometimes it would be a short run, sometimes it would be a long run, but then the running consistently got longer and longer and longer, right? Until I could run, I think by the time the half marathon showed up, I had run 8 to 10 miles. I had never done the 12, the training, but I had run 8 to 10 miles enough times where I felt relatively confident that I could finish it, right? Ran the half marathon, finished it. And what I learned from taking those small doable steps every week, they translated after I finished the half marathon, right? I have continued to run on my own. I am now much more aware of my body, right? If I am running and something feels off, I know now where I need to kind of look and adjust. I check my shoes to make sure my shoes aren't needing to be replaced, right? Because when you run, you have to replace your shoes. You need to buy good quality shoes, all of the things, right? That half marathon did not change my life. I felt very proud of myself, but it didn't change my life. But it gave me so much information that I carry that information forward into my life now. Here's the other thing. Doing those small doable goals for this half marathon translated in other areas of my life. I had no idea what I was doing when I set the goal of wanting to run this half marathon. But going to an expert who knew how to run half marathons and taught me the small doable steps translated to other areas of my life. I started a business almost about 3 years ago now, right? I went into private practice therapy after years of working in various agencies, right? And I didn't know what the heck I was doing for private practice. The first thing I did was I joined another psychologist practice to learn the business, right? And she was very helpful in giving me information, right? And so I started small doable steps. I had maybe 1 or 2 clients that I saw every other weekend. That's where I started, right? And then I slowly built it as I learned more about how to run a private practice, right? Eventually, I left her, and almost 3 years ago, I started my own practice, and here we are today at a Fit Life Center. And I'm still learning. I am still learning, but the information that I learned from that half marathon, the information that I learned from working under another person's practice, all of those things help me obtain the goals that I have set for my business, right? I can't get there overnight. I need to learn this business. I need to take it slowly. I need to set goals that make sense, right? For me now, right? I need to be flexible. I need to learn how to change the steps, right? If I run into a barrier, I need to know how to pivot so that I can keep going. That is what reasonable goals are. They have to be, first of all, attainable. Can you do it? If I had started this business and I had said, I want to make $1 million my first year, probably not reasonable. I don't even have enough client base, other sources of income coming in to make $1 million. So I'm going to be disappointed at the end of the year, right? But reasonably, I knew based on the small doable steps I had done with the other private practice that I could probably hit a certain number that I actually did hit in my first year business, right? I started off there, right? That was the first goal. I got the basic infrastructure that I knew I needed, right? That was my second goal, to get all of those pieces set up so that the practice could flow relatively smoothly, right? I ran into so many little bumps along the way, right? But I had to, just like I learned when I was running a half marathon and I got a cramp in my hip, right? I didn't quit the half marathon. I had been taught to slow down, stretch a little bit, use some electrolytes because I might have been a little dehydrated, drink some electrolytes, stretch it out a little bit, slow down the pace. I was able to keep going, right? Why do I want to do it? That's the other thing, right? Why do you want to set goals for yourself? What's the reason, right? Why would you do it? I had to be able to answer that for myself. When I started my practice, I wanted to work for myself and be remote so that I could travel more. And as you all know, that's exactly what's been happening, right? I have been traveling more. So I am meeting that goal, right? When I ran the half marathon, I wanted to train my body for endurance. I wanted to see if I could really train my body for endurance. I trained my body to run 3 or 4 miles, but I didn't know if I could have the endurance to run longer. And I found out I could, right? With some training and some small doable steps, I could do it. You have to make sure that the time limit that you gave yourself in order to do it makes sense, right? Which is another area. You need to kind of have a deadline. There's no kind of. You need to give yourself a deadline so that it's not for pass or fail, right? It's so that you can, at the end of when you get to your deadline, analyze what you've done so far to find out, did you reach your goal? Were there some areas that you need to finesse a little bit in order to help you to continue to reach your goal? What happened, right? You need to do an analysis of the goal. It doesn't really matter whether you completely get it or you're on your way to getting it, because all we're going to do with the data that you acquire from what you've already done is tweak it so that you can keep going. Right? If you have hit your goal, then maybe we change the goal a little bit. Now what else do you want? Or maybe you just want to chill in this space for a little bit and see how it goes. Is it maintainable for a while? All of that is on the table, right? When you do small goals. But the reason people don't usually hit their goals is because they aren't attainable. They don't know why they are doing what they are doing. And sometimes they don't have experts in place to help them when they hit a snag. They don't know how to either acquire the information they need or get somebody who knows how to tell them to get the information that they need. So this is what reasonable goals are. If you think this might be for you, I might be a girl. I can help you start to construct small doable goals in order to, small doable things to help you reach your ultimate goal is what I'm trying to say. Again, hit me up on the fitlifecenter.com if you think that might be for you. But most of all, I want you to create a life that's fit for you. See you later.